Welcome to C&R Fishing Masterclass. Today I brought you to the Grand Union Canal at Knoll, just outside Solihull, and show you the way I approach canals to catch some bigger bonus fish like skimmers, perch, hybrids, bigger roach and stuff like that. I've not brought squats and that with me, I've just brought bigger baits. Okay. Oh yeah, baits I brought out today for a few hours canal fishing is I've got 2 pints of casters, I've got a pint of fresh maggots, I've got about half a pint of pinkies, I've got a few dead maggots, a little bit of chopped worm, and some liquidised bread and a bit of bread for the hook. Hopefully we'll catch a few fish with that. All the bait I've got was fresh this morning from Angler's Peg in Canal. Great bait and great service. I'm going to feed all my lines first. I'm going to start off, I'm going to feed the bread line first, because hopefully, by the time I've fed all my other lines, I should be able to go straight in on a piece of bread and catch a few fish. I've got half a big pot of bread. Quickly start off on bread. I've got a 4mm piece of bread, a 4mm punch of bread. I'm going to go straight out. I'm going to start on bread. Obviously, we've had a couple of cold nights, and it's been raining the last couple of days, and I don't expect those skimmers and that to be on these other lines straight away. So I'm just going to have a quick look on bread. Hopefully, we'll get a few early fish and wait for the other lines to settle. Right, I'm going to take you through the rigs now. The first rig I've used is my bread rig, which is the lightest rig I've set up. It starts, I've got threes elastic, I've got 0.9 main line, going down to an 0.7 hook length, a 22, it's a fine wire 22 hook. It's a 4x12 float, I mean like a small bulk, probably what, a foot from the hook, and one number 13 dropper in between that. Just so when you're fishing bread, so you've got a nice positive rig. That's that rig. For the same line, where I've fed big baits, I've got my heavy rig. It's just a small 0.1 bodied float with a thickish bristle. I've got 6's elastic, and this is done on 0.12 line straight through to a 16. Canal B560 hook. I see a lot of snags over there, and I want a bit of backbone in the rig to pull any fish out I hook off that line. I've also got a lighter rig for the same line, which is done on 0.10 straight through to a 5's elastic, and it's just a little 4x10 dibber float, and that's just got an 18 Canal B560. And I've tied both the rigs up direct on there, obviously, because I expect to hook some bigger fish, and I want to be able to get them out, or have a chance of getting them out. Right, I've had a few fish on the bread line. I've had a nice skimmer, a few roach. It's died probably about 40 minutes into the session. It's died now, so I'm going to have a look on this big fish line where I fed some worms, casters and maggots. I'm going to start off with a fairly big piece of worm, just to see what's out there really. If there's a few small fish, you might get small. We'll see how it goes anyway. Okay, I'm going to put the ship out there. I'm going to lay the rig in, but I'm going to lay it in so I'm laying it the hook the furthest away from these snags, so I've got less chance of it going into the snag. Actually, I had a bite before I managed to ship it out there while I'm holding the pole in the middle here. Right, let's see if I can put it into practice for you. Show you. Right, so it's quite snaggy over by them branches, so I'm going to lay it in away from them and draw the rig into it so the hook's not actually falling through the snags. Hopefully it won't take long to go under. Okay, so we've had a few fish off this line off the end of the brambles there, with a big perch and a couple of smaller perch and a skimmer, but bites are dried up a little bit, so I'm going to top it up. I'm going to put about half what I put in at the start of the match just to kick start it again while I have a quick look on one of my other lines. So get that in and fishing over on maggots on the hook over where I've had a bit of ground bait. It's a number 4's elastic. I got the same 09 main line. This time I got an 08 hook length and a 20 hook. It's a slightly lighter 5x10 float and shotted pretty much similar. It's a small bulk and a couple of small droppers, number 13 droppers. Okay, we've gone onto this ground bait line and it doesn't seem to be the best of the lines at the moment. I've not really had many bites over it. On another day ground bait can be really good, but I always feed some ground bait because sometimes these skimmers do like it. I'll give it a bit longer and hopefully it'll come to life at some point. A little indication then. same as on that other big fish line. If you have not had no bites after a minute or two, just lift the rig, lay it back in. A lot of these fish on these canals tend to like to watch a bait moving in front of them, and they'll snap at it. It also pays to dot your floats right down to the, you know, a couple of mil showing. A lot of your bites, even off these bigger skimmers, will just be a little dink. A little tip you can also try to get a few bites is just to lift the float a couple of inches out of the water and just twitch it about a couple of times. So no bites there, so we'll just lay it a few inches further down the peg just to see if there's any fish sitting off the feed. There you go, bite straight away on your little fish. Little skimmer. Right, day's gone really well. Started on bread. I've had a decent skimmer, probably a dozen or 15 roach on bread. It's died on me. Instead of, if it was a match, I'd have topped it up and tried to catch a few more, but I didn't bother today because we're pleasure fishing. And then I spent the rest of the day just rotating a line where I fed a couple of balls of ground bait straight in front of me with maggots on the hook, and another line towards the features with worms and casters. I've just rotated baits between maggots, caster and worm on the hook, and a lovely day's fishing with 3 big perch, a few skimmers, lots of little smaller perch, and been pretty much a bitey chuck all day. Hope you've enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed fishing it. I'm Jason Cunningham, and I hope to meet you all on the bank at some point. Thanks for watching.